Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. This is part 35 or 36, I'm not sure, of the Great Farm Cleanup. I've just got back here this morning. It's Tuesday, so a bit of a shorter week this week, a shorter trip, because I have to go back Thursday afternoon. I'm aiming to get a few things done this week to make some real impact into what we have to do here. I want to completely empty the shipping container. There's one of Mum's garden sheds that she's offered a lot of stuff to some local gardeners, and they've come and got what they want, so now we can finish emptying that. I've got a guy here at the moment down the lane who's picking up a hay elevator, which those of you who've been around for a while, we did actually sell it on eBay a couple of years ago, and the guy never came back to pick it up. So I put it on Facebook Marketplace. There's a guy picking that up right now. I'll show you that as he drives off. There's someone else coming to get this cupboard here. If I spin the phone around, I put this cabinet on Facebook last time I was home, and there's someone coming to look at that this afternoon. I do need to get some stuff out of the house into the van and take back to Nagambie. Now, Mum has purchased a house in Nagambie, and we've actually had the settlement date. She won't be moving in for a while. We have to get things organised here, and she has to be ready to move. But it does mean that we have some spare sheds and a house to put things in. So I'm going to take back some stuff this trip. So we need to load the van up with a decent paying load. I want to get some more stuff out of Mum's shed. The garage sale corner that I set up here worked really well. And in fact, Mum's even had a couple of visitors pop out for other things. And they've purchased stuff because I had price tags on it. So that's worked out really well. I think the wardrobe behind me that I mentioned last time, I think someone's going to take that. So that's working really well. I need to get some more stuff out here. I probably won't get much chance to get anything out of the workshop this trip. And I've got a few jobs that Mum's lined up for me to do, light globes that have blown and plumbing issues and other stuff that, we've got to fix up because Mum's still going to be staying here for a bit longer. But of course, we're not going to do any long-term type repairs to the house or the yards or anything now because it's only a short while and it won't be our concern at all. So Ross and Linnell, the new owners who live just over in the next farm, they've been really great. And a few of you commented how gracious they've been in not pressuring us to move, and that's been much appreciated. And so, yeah, I think without any further ado, let's go and have a look in the container and see what we have to move out of that. And we'll check up on how the guy's going down there loading up the hay elevator. We've been pretty fortunate with the weather. We had a really hot weekend, and now it's back down into the mid to high 20s, so it's not too bad. It's dried off a lot, but it is summer, and I made mention last time I was home that it's bizarre to see a lot of greenery around. We've had a very wet summer. Let's open this container up. And I did take all the shelving out last time, so there should be a lot less in here now. And we've got to work out what to do with the things. I'll take that bookcase up into the carport. We might put a price on it. I might put it in the van if there's room for it. There's some books and stuff here. Some of it's my brother's and some of it's Dad's old college stuff, which we will keep. So all the rest of this stuff, these boxes and everything, I might just move them all out of here into Mum's shed. That bed frame I will take back. The mattress, I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. So there's a bit of stuff to move. Oh, the TV's fallen off. How did that happen? That's not ideal. It's broken the case. I'm sure that was sitting up safely on there last time. Bizarre. Don't think we've had an earthquake. All right, well, that's a bit of a shame. I'll have to check that one out. In fact, I'll look back at the video and see exactly where it was sitting. Very strange. So I think these cupboards are mostly empty. There's obviously some stuff along the top that I'll have to move. So I think I'll get a trolley and I'll just move everything up into Mum's shed so we can get this totally empty. And then some of it we can price in our little garage sale area, and other stuff that needs to be kept, well, maybe I can put some of that in the van and take it back to Mum's new house. So that's my number one aim, I think, this trip, is to get this totally empty so we can close the doors and say, yep, we don't have to go in there anymore. And this garden shed we haven't looked in before, and it had a lot of seeds and gardening stuff. And as I mentioned, Mum has given a lot to local people that have gardens, so there's still a bit of stuff to sort out in here. Lots of empty jars and tins, they can just all go in the recycling. So a couple of cupboards and things that aren't of much value. That bench probably isn't too bad, we might be able to sell that bench. And the steel racks, well, maybe they can go across to Mum's new shed as well. That's a cute old table, I think we can sell that. I don't think that cabinet's got much value. There's one there that obviously was picked up at a garage sale for $5 once upon a time. We might struggle to get our $5, we'll see how we go. I don't know if that is a going fridge or just for storage. Either way, we'll check that out. If it's no good, as far as the fridge goes, that might have to go to the transfer station for scrap metal, as I think that rack will. So there's a bit of stuff in here, a bit more than I thought. We better move all this out of here too. We're going to be quite crowded up in the carport, but I think we need to do it. And there goes the old hay elevator. One happy customer managed to get it loaded on his own. I didn't see how he did it. Must have winched it up. So it's going off, I think, on a 3-hour journey, and he's going to be using it to load firewood. And I've just had a lady come out to look at this cabinet, and she was happy to give me $50 for it. They're coming back tomorrow in a ute to pick it up, so excellent, happy about that. I've been pricing a bit more stuff around here, and I've moved this table out of the garden shed. It's pretty wonky. The bottom of the legs have been wet and they've got a bit rotten. The top's not very well attached. It's really not as cute as it looks with regards to practicalities, because it does need a fair bit of work. I'm probably going to maybe try it on Facebook for $20. I might just put a $20 price tag on it here for now, and perhaps do some photos, and then I can advertise it a few days before I come up next time. We found a heap of old jars, which I'm going to put on for free. The little corner cupboard over there I'm going to put on for free as well. And while I was waiting for this lady to turn up, I got distracted, and I said I wasn't going to do much in the workshop this time. Well, that's where I've been spending most of the day, or this afternoon. So I've cleaned up a bit more where I got to last time. I've been pricing some stuff. It's a nice early, very good quality tap and die set. All the little chaser dies. Half of the taps are missing, or some of them are missing, and I don't think those ones were part of the set, but they're all good quality P&N Australian made ones. I've just put $30 on that. I could happily take that back to the shop and put $50 on it, but if we get a buyer here now, great. But just put $10 on those dies, and I've priced a bit of other stuff to go back out on the other table out there. But I've sort of switched now to the garden shed. So let me show you. We'll go and have a bit of a rummage. We haven't really looked in there much before. Oh, I also moved this old rubbish bin, and Mum tells me that dirt or mud, it's actually rock hard. It's almost one lump. Now, apparently is gold bearing dirt from some gold fields, and we should pan it because there could be a fair bit of gold in that. So we probably should take that back to Ngambia, and one day we'll have a gold panning session. All right, let's take the trolley with us and we'll go back to the garden shed. So I started pulling some things out of here, and the table was in the back corner, so we've got that out. These old cupboards I think are all going to be free. I'm not going to worry about trying to clean them up and get $5 or $10. They're pretty much empty, so that's only a plywood one. This one I think is a chipboard one, and I think it's been emptied of all the, it's probably an MDF actually. So the people that were here got some gardening stuff have emptied it, except for in the top. What's in these bags? Old gloves and socks. Okay, bit more fabric, rags perhaps. It's all the same. More gloves. Oh my goodness, I've found where gardening gloves go to die. And looks like more of them. All right, well, I don't think there's any real value here. In fact, I don't think, yeah, more gardening gloves. If you've ever lost a gardening glove in your life, this is where it went. Okay, well, they're not going to be any good. They'll have to just go to landfill, unfortunately. We've got some poisons and things up here, which is always a pain because you can't just dump them at the tip. I'll have to sort them out. Some of them might be still okay. Tarnoff is for removing tarnish off silver. That might still have a use. Bon Ami was just a cleaner. But some of the poisons and labelled, or ones that aren't labelled, I'm going to have to just box up, and I think they have a poisons collection day every so often at the transfer station, so we might have to do that to be responsible. That looks like just twine of some sort. So lots of little pots, and anyone that's doing raising seedlings and things, they might have use for those. I'm just going to group them all together and they can be freebies. What do we got? Those shelves, little cupboard things, not of much value, I don't think. Oh, actually, I wonder if that's been made from old oil boxes. And it's just had masonite put over the sides. I might have to investigate that one a bit further, just in case they're valuable boxes. That workbench there is quite a good solid one. That will have a market, but also it will be handy out in the carport to set up for putting more stuff out for sale. And up here we found a vintage ice cream tin, a half-gallon Streets Neapolitan ice cream, so that's probably $10 to $15. These are watering cans, always sell well. It's got the original rose on it too. I wonder if it's a willow one. It's not branded that I can see, but it's a nice old galvanised watering can. Probably $30 at least for that one with the rose on it. They always sell quickly. I might even go $40 on that one. So rather than try and sell that here, that's one that will go back to the shop. What else have we got? Lots of saucers, probably just for putting under pot plants. They're not going to be of much value. Some vintage pegs. So yeah, there's nothing really of any value here. Mum used to save a lot of containers. She always has. And when you're living on a farm and you're doing a lot of gardening and propagating things from seeds and all that sort of stuff, you tend to save containers. I tend to save them for my shed. Okay, well, nothing else of real value in here, just a bit of sorting out. It shouldn't take too long. So let's deal with this area first. We'll clean up this side. Okay, for those who have recently joined my channel, and I've had a lot of new subscribers lately, this is the countryside around the farm here, and I've said numerous times, it's just so weird to see it green in the middle of summer. Certainly been a strange season. So the sun's just going down, beautiful sunsets at the farm, and I'll just take you for a quick walk down to the machinery graveyard again. We've visited this place a few times over the course of the cleanup. But I had the guy here today, the guy in the truck who picked up the hay elevator. His name was Dave. He was very knowledgeable with old machinery, and we were looking at the old Chamberlain tractor and having a bit of a chat about that, and then we're looking at the old binder in the shed, and he was here for probably an hour and a half. And he had a wander down here, and he came back and told me and said, did you know there's some old tractor parts, some old Sift tractor parts? Now, those of you that have been following my channel for a while will remember that I actually sold a injection pump, a diesel injection pump from an early Sift tractor a while back, and we also, I think I even included a photo of what the Sift tractors look like. My grandfather bought one brand new in 1950 something, and he also got another one at some stage, and they wrecked one and made repairs to the first one. Now, David informs me that this is the original pull, I guess you'd call it. I think it's a pintle hook off the Sift tractors, and that's a front axle from one. Now, that's really interesting. And he also thinks that these might be the cast iron rims from the back wheels, but he wasn't sure on that. But let's go and have a look up here a bit further. And one thing my channel does embrace is repurposing and using stuff for other jobs that it wasn't intended for once it's no good. And just down the track here a little bit, there's an old plough that I presume my grandfather had actually put the Sift tractor wheels on. And I hadn't recognised them, well, I hadn't noticed before, but it actually says Sift on the hub. Now, the Sift tractors were made in France, I believe. And yeah, as one got wrecked on the farm, well, I've found a few parts in the sheds, and I sold some big old steel wheels at one stage that Dad had told me were from the original Sift tractor. And obviously the other one they got had rubber wheels. And look at this. The original 1950s Sift front wheel from the tractor that Grandpa would have bought. Well, I don't know if this was off the original one or the later one. The other rim's underneath there, and the other hub is still on the other side of this old Scarifier. So this original Scarifier or plough or cultivator would have had steel wheels on it, and obviously as a way of repurposing tractor parts and improving the functionality of the old Scarifier, they put the tractor wheels on it. So I'm going to message the guy that bought the injection pump and see if he's interested in these other parts. And if he's not, perhaps, well, we might try them on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm not after big dollars at all. I just think that we shouldn't scrap things that have, you know, a bit more historic appeal, and there's always people trying to do up old tractors. And it's not every day you find parts for a Sift tractor in a machinery graveyard. So there you go. That's a good news story for today. So most of the rest of this stuff will probably end up going for scrap, but I have sold a lot out of here, and there's been parts go for people's garden displays, and I'll take some old wheels back to the shop because I sell them. And yeah, we've sold gates and a windmill fan and a few other things. So I've still got to try and get a few wheels off these old binders, but eventually we'll give the scrappy a call and he can come and clean the whole row up. Okay, the sun's just gone down. It won't be long and the mosquitoes will be out, so I think I'll go back, do a little bit more in the shed before I have a cup of tea and finish up for the day. Early start in the morning. I'll probably be up and about just after 6, and it's not supposed to be too hot. It's going to be a nice day, but I've got a lot to do, so we'll probably do another episode tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in again, guys. This was episode 36, if I remember correctly. So tomorrow, you guessed it, episode 37. So thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. It's going to be an interesting journey forward, getting it all cleaned up and getting Mum moved and everything. And I was talking to someone just earlier today, Andrew in town, and I think Andrew watches some of these videos, and saying, we're making history, we're recording history, and my future generations, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, will have known that we had a farm at one stage. And won't it be great that they can tune into YouTube, hopefully YouTube's still going, and actually see their ancestors' farm. Okay guys, catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.